Hello and welcome back. This is your host Tom, and for this episode, we're about to tackle another major issue that I found myself having with, and that's kind of the whole point of this episode. Now, the title of this episode is going to be something in the lines of the perfection resource trap. Is still back on the perfection series that we talked about a couple of episodes ago, and I think it's something major, important, something that I found myself struggling with even before I got to this point where I published a few episodes. I don't call it that many, but hey, progress is progress. And you know what? I'm going to pat myself on the back because for coming or for making it this far. Now, so one of the things I discovered was the main reason why I didn't start or I didn't want to start a few months ago. I wasn't even consistent a few weeks ago is because of this deception. It's kind of a mindset trap or a mindset deception issue that kind of prevents you from actually moving forward. And that is waiting until you have the perfect resources for you to begin. Now, before I even started recording this episode, I was using an old computer. I'm still using an old computer even as I'm recording this right now. But to be honest, I haven't really used it as much. Right now, I'm using a HP Chromebook to actually do some of the things that I need to do. And so a Chromebook is pretty much fine. You don't even need like an expensive laptop to actually begin recording podcasts and whatnot. And I'm using a phone that is about a few years old to actually do the recordings. And the reason why I'm mentioning this and actually being vulnerable, actually just sharing it out there is because for a long time or for a few weeks or for a few months, the reason why I didn't post is because I felt that I needed a good phone. I felt like, man, wait, if I just had this phone, if I just bought like the latest Galaxy, I think it's the S24 Ultra or the X23 Ultra, or the X20 or the Note 20, or if I got an iPhone, then I could probably do better recordings. If I got a good laptop, then I could probably do better recordings. And for a long time, that thing kind of stuck with me. And so I kind of postponed or procrastinated on actually doing these episodes for quite a few weeks or quite a few months is because I wanted to wait until I got that laptop. And so I just, I was just struggling and I was just kind of, hitting my head against the wall, trying to figure out how am I going to get a new laptop, how am I going to get a new phone to actually do the recordings. And just couldn't be any other phone. I couldn't use just a regular phone. It had to be a nice phone, a perfect phone, something like good audio quality. And, I was wondering like maybe, I was in my head, I was thinking I need a lapel microphone, or maybe a headset microphone, maybe a condenser microphone, maybe a proper condenser microphone with a nice Canon camera or any basic kind of camera. I was thinking about the M50 Canon camera, then that would be set. And then I was actually thinking about I need what else? I need a selfie stick or just like a tripod. This phone tripod stands that have like the ring light. And so I was thinking about if I had that ring light that I could actually put my phone there on, I could just actually mount my phone there and actually just record myself. That's because at the time I was having my iPhone, but it broke, and so I'm just using an old phone right now to actually do the recordings. But I had this kind of limitation that built up in my mind about the things that I need, and I thought that I needed to actually begin to do the recordings. And it took me a while to actually get over this, and it's only until, by the grace of God, that I was able to actually overcome some of these hurdles. And so I realized I don't really need anything else except for what I have, that I can actually use what I have and actually make progress. And this episode itself, and even the many episodes that have actually come before this, and actually the many episodes that are going to come after this, are actually evidence that you really don't need to start buying new equipment, or you really don't need to start buying a new microphone or a new laptop or a new cell phone or smartphone or a new ring light or a new tripod or new photography lights, or you need a new couch setting. Because I actually remember I was positioning myself in my room and I actually set up my desk against the window, that way I can get the natural light, and actually planned on how I'm going to be recording the videos using my background. But then I was like, my background is whack. There's just a pale blue color on the wall and a palish, greenish, bluish, white. I don't even know what kind of color it is, but it's just plain and ugly. And, I just wonder like, man, this is going to look so bad on social media if I'm putting this out there on YouTube. Man, this desk looks so bad. This camera is whack. Even my iPhone's camera, I felt like it wasn't good enough. And I was having problems with the microphone, with the laptop mic that I bought because, well, I don't know, it just didn't work for some reason. And so there was so many issues that were standing in the way in terms of resources, trying to figure out, man, I needed this, I need a specific line. So I was kind of doing a budget of like, and I need like $100, so I can buy a tripod and a ring light tripod, maybe like a 12-inch ring light tripod. I can mount my phone on, and then the other thing I needed was a good phone, and the other thing I needed was probably a wireless microphone that I could attach on my shirt and actually do recordings, and as I'm actually facing the camera and actually just start talking to it. And I did that, but I never actually ended up using it. I even kind of DIY'd myself a smartphone mount to actually use. I remember there's a blue mount that I borrowed and one from an old camera that I used, but I actually never got to doing anything with them. I'd set them up. Actually, the setup was quite okay, but I never actually did anything. It was only the moment where I got to a point where I was like, you know what? Forget it. I'm not even getting these things anymore. I'm just going to do. And kind of God opened my eyes to this, so I cannot take any of that glory. I have to give it the glory back to God. But you know what? I decided I'm actually just going to do these things with what I have. And what I had currently was just just a mobile phone that works. There's an audio functionality that works. And in fact, it is such an old phone that doesn't even have like the SIM card still doesn't even work. And the SD slot doesn't even work as well. But guess what? The previous episodes and the quality of those episodes, as good as they are, they're not the perfect. They could be better. But right now you can actually hear what I'm saying and you can actually understand what I'm saying. And so that quality was enough for me to actually begin and to get started. And along the way, I was able to borrow, a Chromebook, which is what I'm using to actually do a couple of editings for the audio quality that I can be good and actually design some of the graphics that I'm using on my channel. And even that one, I'm using a Chromebook, the basic functionality Chromebook. And it doesn't even have some like the audio recording equipment. What I'm using is Adobe Enhance. I'll share some of these tools later on. An Adobe Enhance speech, whereby I just upload my audio and upload it to Adobe AI Enhancer and Adobe AI Enhance, and then it automatically enhances my audio, removes the background noise, and actually just kind of steps up the audio quality to a new level. And then other than that, I'm using Canva, which is actually another free resource that you can actually learn how to use. And that's what I'm using to kind of create the presentations whereby I attach the audio to it. And so let this be a lesson to any of you guys who's listening right now, that you don't need, a DSLR camera or a wireless mic, or, you don't need a Rode microphone or a Logitech microphone or whatever else that you think. Just use what you have. Do you have a phone on your hand? Yes. If you're listening to this, you're probably listening it on your phone or your tablet. So as long as you have a phone, as long as you have a cell phone, a smartphone that actually works, you can actually begin your podcast. It's just as little as that. And so right now I'm just using my cell phone to learn, to read some of the books that I'm reading and actually record from it. And so let this be a lesson to any of you guys. Whatever it is that you think that is stopping you from starting, I am here to promise you and to tell you that it is not. And if you can actually begin recording from your cell phone, even if you get a camera, you will not actually do it. Because here's the thing, you actually begin from what you have. That way, when other things come, they're actually there to help you do a much better job at what you're doing, at what you're already doing. So it's not about waiting for that thing to come so that you can begin. It's about beginning with where you are. That when that thing comes, it will only help to upgrade where you are right now. And so that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for listening. I hope some of you guys were able to get help from this matter, from this episode, and just realize that you already have what you need. You already have what you need. You already have what it takes. YouTube is free. Your phone, you already have your phone. You can actually have an audio recorder, an audio. You already have your voice recorder on your phone. You have free AI tools for enhancing audio that you can use online, and you have Canva that you can actually create the kind of graphics that you need. And if you're not there yet to actually show your face on camera, then you can actually just use you can just start a podcast and just put out your voice out there. And so I'm just here to tell you, just begin with what you have, where you are, and with what you have. You don't need huge budgets or huge equipment, or even 12-inch ring stand or a microphone and a lapel mic or a wireless lapel mic or a shotgun mic or a DSLR camera or whatever. Just start with what you have. That's it for this episode. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. And as always, be sure, if you find any of this information valuable, be sure to hit the like button, be sure to hit the share button, be sure to subscribe, and so that you can get all the updates for the next episodes that are coming up. So that's it for this episode. Thank you so much for giving me your time, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.